like this. We're going to attempt to fix it. First thing I'm going to do is see if these connections are loose. I would say that that's loose. So it's a possibility that I just have a bad battery. Or not a bad battery, but stupid terminals. So we're going to tighten those up and see if it solves the issue immediately. So in my case, this bolt is gross and grimy, but you know, whatever. It's a 20-year-old car, so sometimes they just suck. So I'm gonna hand tighten this because it was pretty loose. Switch this over to tighten. It's a 10mm bolt. I'm gonna get it really on there. And now I can't just pull it right off. All right, come over here to this side. Ah, my goodness. It's a 12mm, of course it is. I'll be right back. Next we're going to check right back in here. So to get to that, this baby's got to come off. So I got to take off the whole thing. So let's get to it. So first bit is just going to be taking off this part here and then the rest of the air intake. It's really just the two screws here. There's also supposed to be one down in there. For some reason or another, I'm missing mine, so this part is just in here all loosey-goosey, and there's supposed to be another connection there that is also not there, so cool. Taking off the air filter here, and I noticed I'm missing a pipe right there. So I gotta find where that pipe is and put it back on when I put this back on, because that's probably another issue. She's actually not looking all that bad. Can't force it open, so I'm gonna clean that out and see if it's stuck or something. Not the greatest of views for you guys, but you know, I'll show you the before and after. Oh, you already saw the before. But I'm just rimming it for now. Brake parts cleaner. And then I'm going to get onto the actual opener. You can see it's getting pretty filthy in there. So, as you can see, considerably cleaner. Right? I did as best as I could on the, oh my goodness, on the underside here, but you know, can only get so far down into it without taking it off, and it runs mechanically, so it's more of a pain in the ass than it's really worth. So that's as good as we're gonna get. So while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the fuel injectors and also the spark plugs, right? Because I have a feeling that one of these is probably also the culprit. I've already replaced this hose here once, so maybe there's a leak. I didn't see any leaks while the engine was on, and nothing looks wet, but you know, you can never be too careful. I've already replaced the spark plugs once, so they should be fairly clean, but I'm going to take them out and just clean them off again and then reseat them, and then take out the fuel injectors and run air through here to get whatever's stuck in there out, and then clean out the fuel injectors too. So now I'm going to go ahead and take out the spark plugs. Just about every car takes a 5/8, so pop it in there, find it. Take it off and just unseat it by hand. Just go until it bottoms out. Covered in oil. Covered in oil. Nice. Well, let's just keep going. Also covered in oil. Nice. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect the battery. Got my thumb covering that so it doesn't spill everywhere. Pop it up in here. Set that off to the side. I got to disconnect this battery ground over here so I can move the wiring out of the way. Conveniently also a 10mm. Alright, so now let's get these terminals up and out of the way. This up and out of the way. Okay. Okay. Let's get these out. And out of the way. Put my 5/8 back on. I do that every time. I'm really hoping this is clean and not also full of oil. This side doesn't appear wet. The other side was a little wet. Not oily, just dirty. You never want these tight, because you might crack them. So when you go to put them back in, you just sort of get them in there snug and that's it. They're glass, so you don't want them tight. This one is oily, so 2 out of 4 covered in oil. So you can see these are actually fairly recent. Like I already rechanged the spark plugs maybe like, I don't know, 4 days ago. So those are actually fairly recent, so it kind of sucks that they look that way. Got it cleaned up pretty good. So they're not exactly like brand new or anything, but they're definitely oil free now. So, and I cleaned out their intake spot where they go. I don't know what any of this is called, but I cleaned out their spot, so best I can do. Usually what always happens to me is after I'm finished tightening them, these have a rubber ring on the inside of them and it'll get caught and stuck. So every time I place one of these, I have to go in with the needle nose plier to get my socket back. Just like that. Nice and snug. Hey, we kept it that time. Okay, so I'm going to leave this side off because I want to look at these fuel injectors too. So from the last time, we've got these spark plugs already, the boots are already taken off, this whole section's been taken out. You get the air intake out, you take off the power steering. There's usually a plate for heat like this that goes right like that. Take that off. There's bolt, bolt, bolt. And then these two from where the power steering was, those all come off. Take your clips off, and then you have access to the fuel rail. You unscrew or unclamp this hose, which is a pain in the ass. And yeah, and then we'll see about getting that unclogged, because I don't know if you can see it here. She ain't looking all that good down in there. See all that gook? All that gobbledygook? Yeah, so some of that might have gotten in the fuel injector. So, like I said, usually there's a plate there for heat. I already have it off. But usually there would be one there. On this 03 Subaru, they are 12mm sockets. Right here and right here. If the power steering is connected, it would be connected up here on the heat plate. I already took that off. So we just got to take off these two bolts here. Undo it by hand. So now it's got the worm clamps on it. I'm actually going to grab a rag to catch it. It's immediately leaking. Oh, here, let me get these clips off while I'm here. Come on. Get you back up out of the way. Fuel's already coming out. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Lots of gas. Hold on. Stop up that line. Take the fuel injector in question out. Jesus Christ, that was on there tight as hell. Okay. Fuel injector's out. It actually looks pretty fine. They were a little bit carbonated, so you know, I sprayed them down and wiped them down. I put new gaskets on them. I lubricated the gaskets. So now we're just going to reseat them and hope for the best. Sit in there. Get in there. That other one snapped in pretty easy, so I'm confused why this one's not. Okay. It's on there. There's no way that's coming back out. Let's re-clip it. I hate these ones that run off of the flathead because I can never get it to just stay seated where it needs to be to put it back on. Pretty much just go until I can't anymore, at least without using like a ton of force, because I don't want to bust the hose, but I want to pinch it on there tight. Okay. Remember the last time I also said, you know your spark plug's boot is put on all the way when you hear that little snap. Now I'm going to start the car without the air intake because the car is not moving, so it doesn't make a difference. I feel like that's how it goes. If I get electrocuted, I get electrocuted, but I'm pretty sure you want to do positive. You want to drop your socket wrench, but I'm pretty sure you want to do positive first. No engineer, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Well, I didn't immediately combust, so you're 10. Alright, it's on there. Alright, let's start up the car and hope it doesn't catch on fire. The engine is no longer shaking. No leak. I think we're chilling. We did it! She's running. And it doesn't sound like ass.